This is one of the video lessons from our free Bible study course, all about tracing repetition in the Bible. You can find the full course titled Introduction to Repetition on our website, which includes practice exercises, homework, quiz questions, and self-reflection. Let's jump in. Welcome to session number 2 here on biblical repetition, where we're learning how to recognize repetition in the scriptures, and we're learning what do we do with it once we recognize it. We're in Matthew chapter 5, looking at the Beatitudes, the different characteristics of God's kingdom people. We're going to start in verse 3, and you're going to notice that a certain word gets repeated, and there's actually a pattern here forming. Not just a specific word, but a phrase that gets repeated. You'll see. Jesus opened his mouth and taught them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit." Why? Because theirs is the kingdom of heaven. So hold on to that pattern. This is going to repeat all the way down to verse 12. For 12 verses, or rather 9 verses, we're going to see this pattern of blessed are said person or individual, and here's the reason. So verse 4, blessed are who? Those who mourn. Why? What's the reason or the benefit? They shall be comforted, right? So you're already starting to see this repeating idea of blessing. The phrase blessed are this kind of person, and then here's the proof, the reason, or the benefit of their blessing. Verse 5, blessed are the meek, they shall inherit the earth. So once I notice, hey, something is repeating here, we should be asking, okay, where does this repetition begin? And then where does it end? And then we want to ask, hey, what's the significance of this repetition, this pattern? And what's the point that's being made here? So, for example, one of the ways we think through this is, well, I see blessing repeated. Blessed are, blessed are, blessed are, blessed are, blessed are, all the way down to verse 12. So if I notice the pattern is blessed are this person, then I want to be thinking, hey, each verse has a different characteristic of a person that's blessed. They're poor in spirit here. Here they mourn. Here they're meek. Here they hunger and thirst for righteousness. Since that's the case, I want to be thinking through how these ideas are connected. Hungering and thirsting for righteousness, how's that connected to meekness? What are the similarities? Where do they overlap? What are the differences between the ideas? How are they connected to mourning? How are they connected to being poor in spirit, right? And so now we want to do the same thing with the benefits of the blessing, or the evidence of blessing, or the blessing itself. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven. That's the benefit for the blessed person, verse 3. In verse 4, it's that they shall be comforted. In verse 5, it's that they shall inherit the earth. In verse 6, it's they shall be satisfied. So now that I notice, hey, there's a pattern here, every time Jesus describes the blessed person, he uses a different characteristic, and then he shares a different blessing, or a different angle of the blessed life. So I want to be asking, how does being satisfied connect to inheriting the earth? How do these ideas connect to being comforted? How are they different? How are they similar? How do they connect to having the kingdom of heaven and possessing the kingdom of heaven? So you can go down the line all the way through verse 12, but this is where you begin to see repeating phrases throughout the Bible, and even a kind of pattern emerging. So what you get to do now is go through the quiz, answer a few questions, think through one of the reflection questions, and then you have a homework exercise where you're going to go through Leviticus chapter 18 and do essentially the same thing we did here, thinking through where you see repetition, what is it emphasizing, what's the point that's being made, and then where does the repetition begin and end. So for example, it starts here in verse 3, and then it ends in verse 12. And that's important as kind of literary markers, meaning how a biblical author is writing and compiling and developing their story or whatever. They often use markers such as these patterns or repetition to kind of mark the beginning and end of certain thoughts or themes or ideas. So I will see you in session number 3, where we are going to look at not just repeating phrases and words, but now we're going to look at repeating ideas. We'll be in Proverbs chapter 1, so I'll see you in session number 3.